evening, welcome to this special Weather Fans Live with the Storm Watch with myself, Paul, and Liz. So, good evening to you all. This is our first live in about 10 days. We were due to come back on Sunday, but the weather gods have actually finally answered our prayers, and we've got some activity due in the next few days. So, we're going to go through that this evening. The first batch is through tomorrow night, and probably the main event, I would say, is possibly Friday afternoon, evening time. So we'll have a look through the charts and all that. So I hope you are all well. So have a quick hello to everybody. So good evening to Laura, Audio. Hope you're well this evening. And well, that's it. I can see at the moment.
Yeah, everyone will start piling in as we get going, more than likely.
Yep, so good evening to you all. Shall we just crack on straight on with it?
Yeah, it's all right, it's doing me head in, doing me OCD in. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, so what shall we look at first?
I've got the UKV up, I've got the net weather medium range.
Just before you carry on, also we've got Gordon in as well.
Evening.
The boss is here.
Good evening, all.
Hey.
So we've got the full team in tonight. Aren't you all lucky?
There must be something going on.
I know.
This is a rarity of all four of us.
Got greenage.
I'm ready.
Oh, look at that.
I'm ready to cash in.
Look at the cloud above Liz's head.
All right, okay.
We've got greenage.
Hopefully we'll see some on Friday.
Some green skies.
Indeed. Laura's just asked, is that the contract for storms? Maybe.
Good evening to Andy from the UK, and good evening to Anne Smith. Good evening to you both. Hope you're well as well.
Cool. So yeah, like I said, I've got the UKV net weather, and I've also got the icons with the significant weather to it. I can show Cape and stuff like that. And rattle through it. Near me stop, then I'll.
Shall we take a quick look at what's happening with the facts charts? Have a look at that.
Eating frog legs.
Let's have a look at the facts chart, and so we can see what the setup is before going into the main models itself.
Mm-hmm.
Let's bring that up onto the screen. Let's put us along the bottom. Actually, let's take us off the screen because we can't really see that, can we?
There we go.
There we
I have to put my glasses on. Can't see that. I'm on my phone.
It's on.
Oops. Hang on. I've done something to my screen here. I've put it to full screen by mistake then. There we go. So, yep, this is the latest facts chart from the good old Met Office. So currently we've got this weak weather front coming southwards during the day today, but that's not important right now because we want to get into tomorrow. But that weak weather front actually is kind of dying a death really as high pressure builds across the UK through tomorrow. But all eyes is all onto the south here as our winds start to switch up from the southeast, which is pumping up this hot air from Iberia. And this is going to be the first phase of what's to come through tomorrow night. Oh, I've gone a bit too far. So we're expecting these weather fronts to move through the west through tomorrow, which could trigger some of these thunderstorms for western areas. These will progress northwards through the night into Thursday. There might be... Well, it's got across the country on Thursday, but I think it's just been a legacy of any cloud, maybe a few showers on that. It's going to Thursday into Friday. Then we're seeing this system starts to move in from the west. Obviously, we're still pumping up that warm, moist air up from the south. And what we need is warm, moist air, and we need that trigger coming in from the west, which we are going to see. And this will actually help to fire off these thunderstorms. We've got this trough here, which indication that we could actually see some thunderstorms kick off ahead of that before it gets swept away through into Saturday. So the main focus obviously is tomorrow night into Thursday, but I think the main event for us really we're looking at Friday afternoon into Friday evening into the early hours of Saturday morning. So
my feeling tomorrow is that there's there may be an isolated one, but I don't think there's going to be too much widespread anyway, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think
if anything, it might be more for Ireland, to be honest, tomorrow.
Yeah. I can't chase tomorrow, unfortunately. I'm otherwise engaged. But I've managed to clear my diary for the weekend, Friday into Saturday. So I will definitely be chasing.
Yep, same here. I'll be chasing Friday, fingers crossed, somewhere about 30, 40 mile away from here. Meet and greet them as they're coming up. As for yourself, Gordon?
It was, sorry, I don't know if it's me, but it keeps breaking up. So sorry, Liz, I couldn't really catch much what you were saying there. I kind of lost you all when you got to about Ireland.
Probably you.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing, to be fair.
For the terms of Friday myself, I'm doing half a day at work there. My daughter's got a thing at school, so some point during Friday evening time, we'll be doing Weather Fans live from the studio itself at some point.
Yeah.
I think tomorrow-wise, not much for me, is there, to fish for? It's sort of Thursday afternoon into Friday morning. There's a chance these storms could rattle on a bit later on, and that might lay the foundation down for anything else. I mean, it looks a bit. Thursday seems to be. Well, there's a lot of information at the moment that's going on about Thursday, but going Friday and Saturday, it just seems a little bit anyone's guess. It's a little bit pixelated for now because we don't know what effect that this initial burst will have for the secondary or tertiary storms that could potentially come through. It's very much like it used to be, where you end up with a great, fantastic storm coming through, and then you don't bother paying any attention until the next day, and that's when you start sniffing the dirt and then make your mind up on the day, with what to do. But I mean, the Met Office are talking about, like I think Paul mentioned it, nasty storms and frequent hail, and they're putting out big words here for the Met Office.
I think they are
the other day.
Sorry, go on, Liz.
The other day, I actually chased the odd pop-up storm. They didn't really get going, and they were really short-lived. But there was some awesome structure, and there was some pea-sized hail inside the cores. So it just depends on what the shortwave trough does. And like you said, Gordon, if it clears out and just kills the atmosphere, the main line that's coming through Friday is just going to be heavy rain and the odd bit of straight line winds and hail. But I'm ready to go whichever. But like you say, it'll be a last minute. Right, this is what I'm doing. Keep an eye on things first thing in the morning and work out from there, basically.
Yeah, it's just obviously with Friday, if we get plenty of sunshine, obviously the humidity, we just need those temperatures to rock it up, and obviously that'll give us that fuel that we need. Because when we take a look at the Cape and Lifted for Friday, last time I checked, it was looking very nice.
Well, indeed.
It keeps backing off, and then every run is different, so it's going to be a last-minute nowcast, I think.
Yeah. But that's
it may well be that Thursday's the big one.
Right. Shall we look at the next set of charts?
Yep, sure. Am I on, or is it you, Michael?
Oh, okay. Is that
Brilliant.
you? Okay.
I've got UKV, I've got NetWeather's own model, and then I've got the icon, which has got significant weather attached to that. So anyway, right, let me go into this one. So this is for Wednesday night at 9 o'clock in the evening. So look at the Cape. As you can see there's not much in the way of mixed layer Cape. You can see it moving in though. Just move back to precip and cloud. It's all pretty much fizzling out as it moves northwards. We can see some isolated cells on the back edge of that front that's trying to move through, but that does look like it will dissipate. But then you can see there across Republic of Ireland, quite a few angry looking storms. There might be the odd one around Gordon's neck of the woods.
If you go back one, Paul, sorry.
Yeah, it's cool.
If you go back one, there's a line down the Welsh border. There. Whoa. Forwards. Forwards.
That's Thursday. Oh, yeah.
Forwards. Thursday. There. That southernmost big red blob is pretty much right round by my neck of the woods. So
yeah, this one here. Yeah. I'm just going to see if there's much Cape associated with that. There isn't much. Probably around about 600 joules, maybe.
I'm guessing the lift of the nearby hills and mountains, maybe.
It's coming up off. It's as it comes over the Brecon Beacons, Breconiog, it's Breconiog, whatever they call it now. Sorry, it's got the Staffordshire moorlands, which are grassland, which heats it, and then you've got the island of warm air over the built-up Black Country, Wolverhampton, which is a trigger point, Stafford trigger point, Birmingham trigger point. So as it drops down off the Staffordshire moorlands and then it hits the warm air island of the cities, they quite often trigger. So that will be one I will be keeping my eye on.
Also as well, we've got the heat building through Wednesday as well. So there's potential for through the Midlands up to northwest England. We expect temperatures into maybe the mid to high 20s. Well, mid 20s up to 26, 27, even up to Gordon's End.
Yep, that's the rain's moving through. So see there, this is at 4 o'clock on Thursday. Temperatures down in the southeast, 27 degrees, up to our the Midlands, 20s, mid-20s, 23, 24 maybe. And as that front kind of dissipates, you're looking around about 20 to 21 degrees up in the north. But towards the Vale of York, which seems to be quite a bit of a hotspot for warm weather, could be up to 25 degrees there towards the lee of the high ground.
That'll be phone effect.
Yeah, I would imagine so. So we'll go back to that. So this is Thursday at 4 o'clock in the evening. In the afternoon, you can see a few little cells starting to brew up on the back edge of that decaying front on the UKV. So there could be the odd pop-up cell there around about tea time. So look at the Cape. Still some Cape about.
Potential there around the Wirral and Liverpool and near Gordon's neck of the woods.
Yeah, around looking at humidity values around about 80 to 85%. So
yeah, they're very high, aren't they?
Yeah. Just go back to precip and cloud. So yeah, you could.
I think that's one.
An evening cell up towards your neck of the woods there, Gordon. Even Michael and Liz could see the odd pop-up cell. I'm not really taking much notice of that because it's more to my northeast.
I think that one's going to be sit in situ rather than a chase. I won't be going more than a
wait and see. Yeah,
hour away from home.
That decaying weather front that we saw in the facts charts for Thursday heading north.
Yeah, heading north. Michael just rightly said. There's the warm front / you got the warm front there. Whoops. Oh, let's just forward it on. There with right.
You can actually see the trough, the shortwave trough there.
Yeah.
That line of high cloud right across the centre of England.
Yeah,
that's the shortwave trough.
Cool.
And that was also shown the facts chart with that trough, wasn't it?
Yeah.
can see them there, just starting around the Brecon Beacons and up towards Snowdonia.
What's the Cape looking like at that time in the morning? Is there any Cape for that time in the morning?
Yeah.
Nothing
really.
much.
I think it's all going to be dependent on cloud on Friday as well.
Mm.
The shortwave trough is a nice indicator of potential for rotation.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see what the helicity shows.
I'll
I
go
can
on.
bring up shortly as well.
Yeah, I've got that on the Meteorologics
Okay.
website as well. So anyway, you can see that shortwave trough starting to trigger some storms across the southeast. That might bring the odd road bit. Oh, I'm hedging my bets on a supercell for that.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
I'm hedging my bets.
There's going to be some nice structure in there, even if there isn't a supercell.
I believe there's going to be some shear along with that as well, so it's going to have really nice structure. But I'm not going to touch that one. I'm more interested in these ones. But the Met Office's charts seem to be holding it back a little bit, and this is like the back of the front there by the look of it. That shortwave trough. But
just go back to Paul. Go back to mid-afternoon. What's the Cape looking like for 3 o'clock?
3 o'clock. There's nothing showing on this one for mixed layer.
Look at 1 hour. Oh,
it's going up in 3 hour increments. So
it's going to be a Kent Clipper, if anything.
Yeah, that one. It could. There's. Hang on, bear with me a minute.
I think that's going to be a nice shelf cloud coming off the channel.
Yep.
If there is anything.
That one is. It's either going to do Kent Clip or it's going to ride up the east coast. I think it's all dependent on how it behaves really and where it comes in and stuff, isn't it?
So this has it a bit further east compared to some of the other runs.
So
can you get any further forward with that?
I can, yeah.
There we go.
Midnight on Saturday. I think this is under-egging it a little bit. I think the UKV has been very cautious compared to other
we are 5 days out, so
yeah, it's going to be. I think the UKV is more short term. That's 3 o'clock on Saturday morning. So look at the Cape values. Still Cape at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Seems to be more then than there was during the afternoon.
I think that's as the main plume and the low are moving up. You can see a couple of but some vortices there. But then where Lizzie's going to be parked up down here, as I said in the green room, that's generally where the genesis of these secondary storms are going to be. After that clip of those.
That's why I have several park-up spots there.
Yeah,
because I know it fires there.
Yeah, and I'm looking somewhere just to the north of the Midlands into Derbyshire, possibly Cheshire. I don't know yet. Just like we were just saying, it's going to be nowcasting really. Anyway, I'll just move this on a couple of more frames. That's at 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. See Cape still associated with that.
It's going to be a sticky night, even if there aren't thunderstorms.
Well, there's the 850s. And you can see down there in Kent, 17 degrees 850s.
What's the surface temperature like at that time?
I'll go
2 meter temperature.
18.
Oof.
Yeah, I don't think people will be sleeping even if there aren't any thunderstorms.
Yeah, that's the max. So even at, let's go back to 15. So there's at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Friday, 31 degrees in East Anglia.
So not surprised with those those storms maybe for the East Coast.
Yeah,
East Anglia.
Well,
if it breaks 30, who wins? Because somebody would have been closest on.
Are we not? Have we not beat 30 yet? Have we?
No.
29.3, I think it was, or 7.
Yeah, we were just under.
Yeah.
Right, I'm just find it. 'Cause it's on the what dates will 30 degrees be reached for the first time this year in the UK? And these are, I think.
What did I say?
19th.
Liz, 12th of May. Michael, 17th of June. Gordon, 19th of July.
Oh, could be better.
Liz, you're going to win that one. Because it's the 13th as well. Friday the 13th.
No, that's 12th of May. We're in June, mate.
Yeah, I said May.
My bad. Oh, Michael, my bad.
17th of June, I've put. So it could be about 4 days out.
Sorry, guys.
Did you say June?
I need to go back to bed. Right. I want to go to the fun stuff now because I know Liz is waiting for the helicity and stuff. Unless Michael wants to do that. Because I'm looking at
let's have a look. Have I got the helicity? Just bear with me.
I'll just quickly rattle through this one because this is the icon.
The helicity will take a while to warm up. Load.
Right. So this is. I'm just going to quickly go through this. This is the German model, the Icon, which is a high-res one. This also has the cloud on it as well, as you can see. Purple indicates thunderstorms. Green indicates rain, light rain. So it'll be probably cloud more than anything.
Early hours Friday, yeah.
Yeah, so that's 9 o'clock on Friday evening. So
yeah, South Coast. Yeah, if you go back one, South Coast, it was indicating the thunderstorms that there.
Yeah, it's going for that clipper, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you can see another one brewing just off the coast there. And obviously thunderstorms breaking out further north earlier with this one. But then you can see they're all moving north then.
Can you send me the link to that page, Paul? When
that's no problem. Yeah, I'll send that across. I think I sent you the website yesterday, but this has got all sorts on it. This one has. I'll flip it in the green room. Sorry, go on, Liz.
Was that Meteorologics, is it?
Yeah, Meteorologics, yeah.
Yeah.
Meteorologics.com. Yep, all over to you, Michael.
Okay. I'll just go straight onto the share screen. So we can see the latest setup we've got right now. So I've gotten full screen, yes. So yeah, this is the current setup right now. This has got the cape on, so let me just zoom in just a little bit and concentrate on our side of Europe. So this is a high pressure just sitting here. That's due to move across the UK. The one that does do that, it's going to start pumping this air up. So let's bring that forward a day. So we start to see this wind change direction. So that high pressure that was sitting there into the North Sea. So we started to get more of a southeasterly, and all these are storms down here.
You can actually see that trough across the Welsh border there, where the winds are coming southeasterly, and then they immediately veer almost north-south.
Just like here.
Yeah. They turn into...
the colours that you've seen on the screen here are actually your Cape values. So obviously let's bring that forward through to, is that 9 o'clock on Wednesday night? Let's bring that forward. So yeah, that takes that to, not sure too much Cape actually, through into Thursday morning. Well, there's that warm front moving northwards. So hang on, which just bear with me a second. Normally it tells me what. So this is looking at the GFS. Can I bring that into the UK Met? Okay, it's just going to show me just the local. What do you want me to do? GFS, ECM? Which one do you think is better?
Good. Both about the same resolution. So
shall we go for the ECMWF because we're
yeah.
So well, this is early. Let's go back to. Sorry, just bear with me. Let's bring that back to Wednesday. let's bring the ECMWF because it's more like European weather. So obviously this is the Cape through into 10 o'clock on Wednesday night. So tomorrow night, let's have a look at the precipitation. So you've got some storms there. Well, showers kicking off down in the southwest.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything there that indicates they're storms.
No.
Yeah, but this is going back to 7 o'clock. So there might be a few maybe affecting perhaps the far southwest showing there. But possibly the channel might kill them off on this one.
I don't think we've had the warming by that point over mainland England.
Yeah, so that's 4 o'clock on Thursday morning. So obviously expecting that weather front to move across the country into Thursday, which should start to fragment. There's a few storms there for Thursday. That's showing. That's definitely overdoing the rainfall there. Oh, sorry, it's rainfall accumulation over 3 hours.
Yeah, let's hope it doesn't do that because that's going to kill anything on Friday. We need a little bit less than that.
This is actually showing some storms maybe before Thursday afternoon, actually, down towards where you're thinking of going to, like the step through the Severn Estuary there.
And the west coast of Ireland as well.
Yeah. I'll bring back the Cape up in a second. Let me just take that off there so we can have a better look.
I've got the GFS helicity charts here as well. And all of them.
So where are we now? So we're into Friday, 10 o'clock on Friday morning, the 1 p.m.
There comes the clipper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so ECMWF is also showing perhaps more affecting eastern areas, but the Met one was showing it perhaps developing overnight. So yeah, it's still affecting East Anglia there.
Well, that's going to be the closest point to the warm weather, into the heating, and that's what. Earlier I said, with what we get second and third. When I say we, I'm primarily speaking for myself in my area. Like Liz pointed out, you get all that rain and that cooling effect, and it could kill it for anything decent second and tertiary. In this country, it can take 2 or 3 days to recover because you need the heating of the land, or you need that influx of warmer weather again, don't you? Warmer air to come back in.
Looks like I might be taking a trip down to Kent then.
So let's look at the GFS of this same.
It'll be worth a while. I honestly think if I was Liz, I wouldn't rule out having a jaunt out that way.
No.
Looking at the data and stuff, it does, even like you said, Liz, even if you don't get much in the way of lightning and stuff, you're going to get some fantastic cloud features.
Yeah.
But I think you will. I think you get plenty of fruit without a shadow of doubt.
Thursday here showing like a few perhaps storms for the Midlands through into Thursday afternoon.
I'm not convinced on that one personally, but we'll see.
This is the GFS run, so it's kind of in agreement there with the ECMWF. So let's have a look.
I think the UKB was showing much of the same for that as well, for the Midlands and up towards Northwest England.
So again, the GFS takes it towards. Got to look at the bright colours there.
I know.
That's indication of what, 53 millimeters an hour? 50 to 60?
50 to 60 mil. That's going to be epic amounts of rain.
I would not. Sorry, Paul.
No, go on, Gordon. Go on.
I was just going to say, knowing the Netherlands being the hot spot for most tornadic activity and water spouts and stuff, if this thing brews really well and carries it across into the Netherlands, I think they're going to get a bit of a treat.
Yeah, it might be worth finding some live webcams.
Yeah.
for watching that. The airports are usually pretty good, to be fair.
If that's what I've got here, I can just click onto these and I can show that latest on there. Yeah, let's have a look.
I think Weatherwise has got the Netherlands on as well.
Mm.
Because that has the has cams and some of the live weather cams and that kind of thing.
Which one's this one, Michael? Oh,
Harmony.
Harmony.
So again, western side of the UK, and even through Thursday itself, it's got, I'll say, more rain there through. But these are the 3-hour accumulations, by the way. It's not actually the rain.
Yeah.
I'm going to say I've got the helicity charts from the GFS on Meteorologics at the moment.
So as far as I can go, I can't go into Friday with that run.
Do you want to pull my tab up, Michael, when you're done with that, and we'll quickly go through the. Oh, hang on. Can you get the helicity up on that? There we go. That's what we need to see.
Right. Shall I zoom in towards a bit more of the UK?
Yeah.
Which model do you want to look at? The GFS on this?
Yes, please. Yeah, GFS is usually.
Let me just bring back to Wednesday. Bring back to Wednesday then. So if I take that on there, is that looking all right on your screen there?
Yep.
Yep.
Obviously, the key is on the right hand side if you can't see it. So this is for Wednesday, 4 o'clock. So jump to me on to the next slide.
Yeah.
It's like COVID over again, is it? Next slide, please.
I'm going to be in Kent, I think, Wednesday night. It's Thursday by the looks of that. Along the south coast from Beachy Head across to Romney Marsh way, I think.
So I've got precipitation for 1 hour. So that's precipitation for 1 hour with that same. Do you want the wind shear?
Yes, please.
So that's your wind shear, quite low actually through. I think it's more down towards the southwest.
Still Kent again.
Excuse me. Hello, pussycat.
Tasha.
That's your lifted index. So obviously close to the North Sea there, there's not much in the way of lift.
To be honest, with the helicity and the Cape, the lifted isn't going to have that much of a thing, an effect. Yeah, I think I'm going to be down on the south coast Wednesday, Thursday.
That's 1 o'clock in the morning on Thursday morning.
Yeah, so that pulse is moving up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, what are we looking at now?
This is Thursday morning at 7.
Yeah, what is it, Cape or?
Oh, helicity.
Oh, helicity. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, so if anything does kick off where I'm aiming to set up stage Herefordshire way, there's a decent amount of helicity there.
So that's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Let's bring up the Cape.
Ouch.
So it's a little bit down towards the southwest shown there. Your lifted index is looking quite decent, actually, down towards the 7 estuary.
Yeah, I think it's all going to depend on how heavy the rain that comes through Wednesday night is, that decaying front. If the front decays quick enough, it's going to be a bigger event.
Yeah.
But I think either way, I'm going to be down on the Romney Marshes at goodness knows what o'clock on Thursday morning.
Yeah, so I've moved it forward now to 1 p.m. on Friday. This is the helicity for Friday afternoon. And that's for 4 p.m.
Herefordshire, across that secondary pulse that we're on about coming up on Friday.
So let's bring that forward to 7 p.m.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all dependent on that front coming through.
Yeah, that's your cape for 7 p.m. Look at all that juiciness in the near continent. That just needs to shift this way a bit. The wind shear for that time. It's looking quite high down towards the south. Through the Midlands.
The hydrographs are interesting.
I'd lifted index for 7 p.m. on Friday. So we're
There's
looking
going to be
at
some big hail in France.
Yeah, that's a large area.
Yeah, they're going to have some supercells.
Easy.
Oh, look at that.
Don't can escape them.
And just see all that.
Over the Dolomites and...
That's your lifted. The helicity looks like that for 7 p.m. on Friday. Your cape.
They're gonna
look at that.
Northern Italy and most of France. Yeah.
A lot of sleepless French people.
Humidity?
Yeah, about 50 to 60%.
Lots of wind
Paris is
screens.
over 100.
I know from past experience, the Eiffel Tower has a very nice webcam on it. You get some really good views of storms coming into Paris on that one.
Paris does get some belting thunderstorms, don't they? You know.
Yes. Yeah.
By the way, that's the wind shear for 7 p.m. on Friday.
Just another thing, Laura's just asked, does Saharan dust affect the forming of thunderstorms?
It can increase the size of hail because hail tends to form around impurities in the clouds.
Yeah.
So they get super cooled, and then any ice crystals that form around them then get super cooled, and so you tend to get more hail and bigger hail with Saharan dust.
I know we're on about a deep dive today. Alex Deakin, he did mention something around like bigger rain droplets and the nuclei and stuff like that. Yeah.
So, you get nucleated raindrops and hail cores, but it doesn't tend to have much of an effect on thunderstorm formation.
Audio said they would be, I won't say the word, if they were in Paris, but I'd only do it once.
I'm just trying to see if there's anything up with these latest storms right now, see if we can get any good.
What about them ones up towards Bilbao and Santander, up on the north coast?
That's where he's looking.
I
have one over my head at the moment.
I can't seem to. These are just off the coast. Just see if there's any good feet. Looks like the radar's down in this area here. And there's some in Central Europe. So let's see if we can get any hold of these. Just looking at any good, decent cloud formations on the cameras.
I don't think there's anything major. There aren't big storms at the moment They're not big storms. They're just thunderstorms. They're not like supercells or anything.
Variety ones.
Yeah, they're kind of our average storms. I think Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night will be the ones to watch.
Yeah.
So, just a summary as regards food for thought for, let's talk about Thursday, Friday and Saturday. I know it's difficult because, like we said, that, you know, especially for my region, it could kill off any potential to follow. So, Michael, like Wednesday, it's mainly what, down in the south coast, any sort of potential, and then Ireland, is it?
Yeah.
And then Thursday, that's when things start to heat up. That's when really we've got the primary.
Thursday, I think, is going to be a sit in situ and see what comes to you rather than chase.
Yeah. They come.
I'm not mistaken, on the Salah
Midlands,
Hills, there's a lot of dust in this area, isn't there?
Yes.
So storm-wise on Thursday, they're coming through the Midlands potentially up into the northwest.
Mm-hmm. On Thursday, yeah.
Yeah. What about Yorkshire, Paul? Have you got much of a chance there?
I'm more looking towards Friday evening for anything in Yorkshire. I mean, I'm just having a flick through the arpeggio at the moment.
Because
I think Thursday the front is going to decay by the time it gets across the Pennines.
Right. Okay. Right.
I think the strongest of the storms are going to be to the west, but like Liz just says, that as soon as they start to move over the Pennines, they're just going to decay.
You might get some precip, and that's what you don't want.
Yeah.
But just to let you know, the charts have updated on the Met Office facts chart.
Cool. Yeah, go for it.
So, obviously, there's that weak weather front that's kind of moved over, but it's just down to death. Obviously, the winds are switching. Oh, no, they're not updated.
Oh, they haven't.
Oh, the latest one's updated, but not the.
She's going more towards the east.
What's your plans then, Michael, for this duration? I know we've all got work and whatnot, but what's your plans, buddy?
Obviously, I'm working all week. So we'll see how things go tomorrow night. If some things do kick off, I'll probably do like a live in the evening time. But we'll sort of see how things work out. Right. I'm not really hedging my bets of too much happening tomorrow, but we shall see. Friday, I'm doing half a day because my daughter's got a Father's Day thing going on at school, so I'll be popping to her school about 2 p.m. Then we'll see how things are during the evening time. And if things really do kick off, I'm expecting to be on the studio live through the evening time, especially after my daughter's gone to bed as well. So more likely Friday evening time, especially perhaps after 6:30, 7 o'clock. Full commitment to here. If nothing's happening, then there's no point of going live, if you know what I mean. But we shall see what happens.
Okay, and Liz is moving to Kent.
Yeah, Wednesday night I've got I'm doing a live investigation on a cable channel. So Wednesday I can't chase until after midnight. So I'll be keeping an eye on things, and I may be taking a long, slow drive down to Kent. I'm aiming to catch the Kent Clipper if possible, if that's still looking on, and then move focus back up to Hereford, the Welsh borders, and then up wherever the storms take me, depending on what happens with the front that comes through, however much precip that throws on the ground.
Yeah, because it could be sketchy on the roads, couldn't it? You know, I mean, I know the Met Office talking about heavy flash flooding and things and the like, which is expected, especially the ground being so hard as well.
Yeah, not too much worried about that. It's the effect that it's going to have on any storms triggering. I kind of know the spots to avoid in terms of flash flooding dangers. It's more of if it throws a lot of water on the ground, the first event, the second and third aren't going to get going.
Yeah. Good. It's good that we're actually talking about this now, because it's been going on for so long where there's nothing happening.
I need to see some lightning.
It's so disheartened, you know. But but you remember about what you talk about in the past about Paul, like when storms come up from the Midlands, and it's like, are they going to edge at the bottom of the spine and go into Yorkshire? You know, are they going to go into the northwest? And how good is the Midlands going to warm them up for us? You know, and it's you miss all that, don't you? It's nice to start talking about it again.
It'd be interesting.
The end of last year was saying how rubbish storm season 24 was. It's not exactly been a great storm season 25, has it?
No.
More than anything else.
The ones on Saturday actually ended up curling back round on itself, didn't they? They actually ended up going south. They basically kind of, as they died, they fell southeast. But I did get some really nice structure on them, even though I didn't actually sit. I was within 20 miles of the lightning, but I didn't actually see any. But I got some very good structure.
Yeah, there's definitely plenty of good structure around through Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I will say regarding tomorrow night, it's just not looking that great, is it? If we're honest,
no.
I think more Ireland might be in the hot spot, but not expecting too much at the stage. The next 48 hours, looking back, perhaps do another live maybe on Thursday night, have an update regarding Friday. It could have shifted. It could be the case where things might be slowing down a bit, where we could get that heat building up and we could get more of the country in this storm, or it could be an unfortunate bit where this weather front moves in through quicker and we're not going to see really anything at all. Maybe Thursday, if anything, might be the better day, but we shall see what happens in the next 48 hours.
I'm going to say it's just like Gordon said regarding the precip and how much falls through Wednesday night into Thursday, and how far that, if it decays out at sea, brilliant. If it moves inland and drops precip, and obviously it's associated cloud, that's going to...
If it comes through overnight and drops precip, that's not too much of an issue, because that's just going to raise the humidity and give produce more humidity and more cape. If it comes through slower and drops a lot, it's just going to cool the earth down. And what we need it to do is come through before sort of 7, 8 o'clock in the morning on Thursday, clear. Then we start getting ground warming again on Thursday during the day, which means when one of the troughs for the next front comes through, it can start to trigger, because we've got the extra moisture then. It all depends on how quickly it moves through.
Let's just hope it stays out of the way, hopefully, and lets that heat build during Thursday.
Well, if it comes through and across and clears by 10 o'clock, then I think we're in for a good show, because we've got all the extra, all the heating, the diurnal heating, and the extra moisture that it's pumped down. That's just on a trough. That's not associated with the main frontal system. So it's not going to decay the frontal system after it. Sorry, it's just whether the precip basically clouds out the sunshine. Because if it's slow coming through and doesn't finish coming through till 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday, we're dead, because Thursday we need the sunshine to come through and warm the earth up.
It's definitely going to be a crucial 36 hours to see what this first batch does to our weather, our atmosphere.
Someone was asking about any storms going into the northeast in the chat.
Michelle.
There you go.
Very small chance, I would imagine.
Yeah.
There might this stage move over from the northwest. They do sometimes get across. The strongest of the storms do kind of get across the North Pennines and into Newcastle, Gateshead, Durham, that kind of area. But sorry, go on, Liz.
I was going to say early hours. If it really gets going Friday into Saturday, anything early hours Saturday that's still going is going to be coming up. And it's going to be coming up almost from the south, travelling due north. So it may well be you get something northeast from that, depending on how long they keep going. Like Saturday, they went across to Peterborough and then started to drop towards the southeast again. So I think the ones Friday, Saturday, if they keep going, we get a nice strong line of storms. They're going to end up backing rather than veering. Veering is moving towards the east and backing is moving towards the west. So if they start backing, they're going to make it up. They'll be travelling basically due north. So they may well get into to the northeast.
Good stuff. Right, I'm going to have to skedaddle.
Yeah, I think we've covered everything for tonight, haven't we, guys?
We have.
Good job. Good to see you all.
Yeah. Feels like I've just,
happy
feels like it's been a week
chasing.
since I saw you, Gordon.
I know. Brilliant. I know. Well, obviously, we'll be talking behind the scenes, but just for the, for the face of it, everyone be safe and You know, if it just don't mess. You know, if you don't know, don't mess. Leave it for Liz to get in a pickle.
We all know our
Get stranded in Kent.
I think we'll definitely do a live Thursday night if any of you are available.
Well, I might be in Kent Thursday night, so I'll definitely be live one way or another. If you're not live, Michael, I should be going live straight onto Facebook. So
yeah, I think Thursday night we'll just have an update to see how Friday's looking. I said it's going to be a very crucial 36 hours. It could be a good sign. It could be a good thing where yes, we're going to get loads. It could be like, oh, friggin' hell, what another letdown. But we shall see. So this what comes up tomorrow night is going to be critical for what happens on Friday. Fingers crossed, please. We need something decent.
Keep everything crossed, everyone.
Everything crossed. 2 years of misery so far.
Yeah.
Right.
Happy chasing all. Stay safe.
Thank you for watching. It's time to end the live stream. Thank you all for watching, and we shall see you on Thursday evening. Time, obviously, we'll put on our socials roughly what time we'll go live, but look out for our lives. Thank you all so much for watching, and we shall see you on Thursday evening.
Roll the credits.
Thank you very much. Good night, bye.